What's up, my two-stroke loving dudes? So we got the 125 two-stroke, sound amazing in MXGP Pro. So yes, I'm actually saying something positive about a milestone motocross game. I know it's going to shock some of you guys out there that somehow magically never see any of my things that I ever say positive about the game, but you see the things that I say negative about it, and that's all you seem to remember. But yeah, we got the 125 sounds. So as you guys know, in most of these motocross games, the sounds of the two-strokes will usually sound just about like you mixed a leaf blower with a 70-year-old cat, and it's quite god-awful, if you ask me. For the most part, like, they cannot figure out how to get two-stroke sounds, especially 125 two-stroke sounds. They just cannot seem to get it where it sounds good, sounds realistic at all. You know, it kind of has its own little weird sort of sound to it. But I know whenever I first got into MXGP Pro on the 125, I mean, I remember that specifically. It hit my mind like, whoa, dude, this almost sounds like I'm riding a real 125, like a newer, you know how a newer YZ125 would sound. That's really what it seems to capture the feeling of there. And I remember me thinking that, and I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. I've never really got that thought in my head while playing a motocross video game out there before, like, oh, this actually sounds exactly like what a real life bike would sound like. But I'll tell you right now, I did get that feeling a little bit whenever I was hearing the 125 for the first time in MXGP Pro, so that was cool. Now the 252 stroke, I don't really know how much that sounds like a real 250. I'm a little bit, I don't know as much. I definitely think the 125 sounds a lot more like a real 125 than the 252 stroke does in this game. But yeah, shout out to Milestone for putting the two strokes back in here. I know I get all mad at them for taking the two strokes out for no apparent reason whatsoever in the official Monster Indy Supercross game, but thank God they at least put them back in here for MXGP Pro. So but yeah, I mean, overall I think it was decent sounding, specifically when you I know this game still has a weird little bug. I'm not sure if they even consider it a bug or whatnot, but it definitely is a problem where, like, if you crash or you come to a complete stop and you gas it and you start shifting through the gears, you can be in fifth gear wide open on a 125 and it won't even sound like you are taking off at all. Like, it'll sound like you've got the clutch pulled in for the first 5 or 6 seconds, and then it sort of takes off, and then it's kind of like, whoa, you know, it actually starts bogging out a little bit. So it's got this really bizarre thing where if you don't actually have any speed, if you're like starting from a complete stop and you're in like third, fourth, and fifth gear, it's not going to bog like it would on a real bike. Like, picture in your head, you know, being in sixth gear from a dead stop on a 125 in real life. That shit is going to sound like a damn, you know, a boat motor that's in some mud or something. Like, it's not going to sound good at all. So, but in this game, if you like just start shifting like up to fifth gear, trying to actually get the bike to sound better than just, you know, that kind of sound that it'll get going, if you try to shift a little bit quicker, it won't do it. Like, it, for whatever reason, it's got this bizarre little thing where it takes it like 4 or 5 seconds after you take off before it actually seems to get in the gear that you're in. Very, very weird how that is in the game. I haven't noticed that in any other Milestone game. This is definitely the only one I've noticed that in. I'm not really sure what the problem is there with that, but either way, if you'll take off like actually at a normal speed and you don't try to like shift too quick, then it sounds fairly decent. But yeah, like, you can be in fifth gear and when you take off and it'll sound like you're in first gear still. So yeah, got a little bit of an issue there. But what I noticed is specifically when you're getting the power, like right there in that what you call good power band hit mode on a 125, you know, that feeling where it's like you hit the damn NOS button. You guys know what I'm talking about. Any guys that rode a two-stroke in real life, right where, you know, that sound kind of gets that, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to really say it. It's just that, like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of sound, like right where it's not revved out, but yet it's not bogging either. You know, right there in that little middle line sweet spot sound. This game captures that just about perfectly. Specifically that sound on a 125, you know, that like sweet spot sound, I feel like it captures that. Now, the over rev in this game on a 125 might get a little bit annoying to some of you guys. If any of you guys watch some of my wide open videos, You know, it can definitely about blow your eardrums out listening to that. Just kind of sounds like it is absolutely revving that bike totally out. Almost gives you more of the sound of like some little kid over there wide open in first gear on an 85, more so than it is like sixth gear tapped out on a 125. You get what I'm saying? Those are two very different sounding things, but sometimes when you're wide open in this game, it can give you the feeling like you're on an 85 in first gear. So, I mean, you know, but all in all, I think the sound is fairly decent in this game, just in a realism sense, like how real the bike sound is. That's where you'll notice it the most. Not so much, I'm not so much saying like from bog to, you know, how good it sounds in the bog and how good it sounds wide open, ringing the bike out. May not be as quite as good as you might be thinking, but as far as just how realistic the sound is from a real bike, it's probably the closest I've ever heard in any motocross game. Now, like I said, on the 252 stroke, I don't really know how much that is for sure. When I first got on the 252 stroke, I wasn't really getting the same sort of feeling, like it felt, you know, sounded super real to a real life 252 stroke, but definitely the 125, you'll get a feeling from it for sure when you first hear this bike in this game. Yeah, that's just my own personal opinion. I think it sounded fairly decent in here, and yeah, man, some people may disagree with that, but you guys know how that goes. Internet world's always going to have their own opinion on whatever it is, so... But yeah, you know, it's just kind of anytime you're making a video with any sort of opinionated anything, there's really no right way to go about doing it. I mean, people are going to disagree with you no matter what you say about anything. It does not matter. So the best thing you can possibly do is just say what you're really thinking about it. Don't let anything else sway your opinion. Don't just try to go with the winning crowd. You know, say what's actually deep down in your heart, man, because that's what's important, because everybody else is going to have their own opinions anyways, and that shit don't even really matter at the end of the day. What matters is if you're saying what you really meant, or if you're sugarcoating the shit and not really saying what you meant and trying to keep all your subscribers and not really being a real person. That's when it becomes a problem, you know, and there's a lot of YouTubers out there like that, man. They just do not voice their real opinions about stuff. They won't do it. That's just the way it is, and you guys know me, man. I say it like it is. You're getting exactly what I'm thinking in my mind, nothing more and nothing less, man. I mean, and you can count on that every single time. No matter what it is I'm reviewing, no matter what it is that I'm talking about, you can bet your happy ass that I'm going to be telling you exactly what I'm thinking. I'm not going to be, you know, trying to lessen the blow of the negativity of it to try to make sure I don't piss you off, to try to keep you here, or try to just say this because I feel like a lot of the other people are thinking it's more like this than that and trying to go with the winning crowd so I don't look like an idiot. It's never like that with me, dude. I'm speaking exactly what I think about it, and it don't matter what the fuck anybody else says about that at all. It does not matter. I do not let other people's opinions sway what I'm thinking about something. It comes from me, dude. And you'd be surprised how many YouTubers specifically out there are like that. They just do not tell it like it is. They don't tell you like they're really thinking. They keep all that shit kind of hidden under a filter, you know. They're not really telling you what they think about stuff, man. So it's definitely a sketch world out there when you can't trust anybody, that's for sure. So but I'm giving it to you like it is, man. Whether or not you're gonna like that or not, it really don't matter to me. It doesn't. You know, I'm not here to just try to make everybody happy. I'm here to give you real opinions on shit, man, no matter what it is. And some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it, but it's just the way it is. So either way, appreciate you guys watching all these videos. Stay real, people. Peace.